Happy Friday the 14th, everyone. You're listening to Real Talk with Ashley and Rachael, and today we're talking about Michigan haunts, urban legends, and paranormal stuff, which is our favorite subject of all time.
Exactly.
You want to begin, or do you want me to? Or?
I'll let you begin. You're
okay.
good.
So this one might be kind of long-winded. So I actually found this YouTube of these guys, and I actually like them. They're called SPI of Michigan. So there's Mike, Steve, and Dennis, and they're funny, and I feel like they're honest about like their work.
Right. Okay.
You know, that they don't just like, and I don't know, like I like their
Bullshit,
I
right.
like their messages that you have, if you're gonna like be an investigator, you gotta put the work in.
Yeah. Oh,
like the things that people don't think about, like the pre-interviews, like going to see your clients before, the research behind it all.
Be respectful. Don't. What is it?
So yeah, I think it was like an hour long. It was like a podcast live.
Oh, nice.
On YouTube. It was pretty neat.
Yeah.
I don't know how long it goes, but this one is called the Bruce Mansion. It's a Brown City, which is northern part of the Middle Thumb. So it's an hour and a half north, I think, from Detroit. So it's pretty cool. There's a lot of history. Like, it was originally a 3-story Second Empire Victorian.
Wow.
Built in 1876 by a Scottish immigrant named John G. Bruce.
Okay.
And they don't know if he was a lumber baron or a postmaster or his brother-in-law and him owned a general store together. There's no real concrete evidence of any of that, or like on file, like what he actually did.
I guess
he might have did like
baron.
he might have did it all. They don't know. There's so the year that he built the house, you want to know how much he built it for?
How much?
$5,000. Could you imagine building a big Victorian house for $5,000? How cheap that is today. Oh my god!
I wonder how expensive that seemed to them.
Oh,
then.
I'm sure that was a lot of money back then.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like his wife's probably like.
It was kind of cool because they went through like they had pictures of every room.
Amazing.
So the cedar room had paneling all around the room. It was beautiful. It was like crazy. And then they had what's called the cistern, which is in the basement. It collected like water for 150 years. You know, like ago when the basement stored water.
For what?
For
just
like
a
anything,
well?
yeah.
Wow.
And then it had its own coal room.
That's crazy.
So the entire building was heated by coal. So they said when they went to do their investigation, it was like 13 degrees.
Wow.
That's freezing.
Yeah.
They said it was really, really cold.
That's dang
There was no power in the house or nothing. And they had one bathroom to use, which I guess had a space heater in it during the investigation.
I'd be huddling up in there.
I guess that's what they were doing. They were like in the bathroom, like trying to get warm.
They're probably pouring water down the toilet so you can flush it.
But it sounds beautiful. Like it had a mahogany staircase.
Oh, nice.
And all the everything is original in this house still.
It sounds gorgeous.
They're trying to get it restored, but the people that purchase it's really expensive to restore. So they're trying to get like a ghost tour going, or like any donations possible.
Yeah.
I'm like, I would like to go check it out myself, but I don't know if you can just show up there and say, "Hey, can I look at your house?"
I don't know. Maybe
It's in it looks like it's in an odd spot because it looks like it's isolated, but I guess there's a gas station right next door.
Okay.
Which is odd.
You go knock on the door.
I know. I just like I'm like, can I get a ghost tour?
Maybe they are doing them. They may be.
Yeah, so the owners are trying to pair up with a paranormal investigator and do the tours, like I said. So that would be kind of cool.
In the medium.
Yeah.
Like, I think it'd be perfect, you know? They can tell you so much, you know?
Right.
Really.
So this was kind of interesting. So I didn't know a lot about, like, Michigan history. Like, in 1881, there was a Great Thumb Fire.
What?
Due to a drought.
Yes.
Like, everything got really dry. Back then, I guess lumber barons weren't mindful of, like, ecological stuff and their hazardous waste. So that didn't help matters either with, like, the dryness of, like, everything. So, and then they had, like, I guess, hurricane winds. It was a fire that stretched over 4 counties. 282 people died in this fire. It destroyed farms, towns, and today, the damage would be $75 million.
That's crazy.
For that time, it's just crazy.
That's
so this was
crazy.
So the fire actually stopped almost right before the house. So that's kind of crazy. So I didn't know this. I didn't know this little bit of information, like historical. I love it because Clara Barton was the first aid, the very first aid.
Yeah.
And they were the first to respond to the fire.
No way.
Yeah.
What?
So, and then that set into motion. They were trying to teach people how to prevent fires.
Okay, yeah.
And hazardous. So the Forest Fire Prevention, Northern Forest Protection Association went into play. And then preceded by U.S. Forest Services nationwide. So this fire, like, kind of spread good things in motion.
Yeah.
And that's kind of crazy, isn't it?
It is, though. Like, you don't think it would have.
So it sounds like the mansion sold and changed hands a few times.
Okay.
Like, an owner, Cynthia Smith, who died in 1921. So it was purchased by John Walker in 1925. He, again, faced financial issues many times, and his wife left him. And so there's a rumor about John. They can't find any concrete evidence to support this. Like, supposedly he was, sound like maybe drunk driving, and he killed a pedestrian, or he was just really distraught. They don't know.
Okay.
And he killed a pedestrian, and he brought the pedestrian that he ran over home on his property and buried him.
Wow.
But there's no real hard evidence to support this. But could you imagine?
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, and they did find his death certificate. There's no reason for the cause of death.
What?
So, is this folklore or actual?
I wonder if they did find the death certificate.
That's crazy. Like, they didn't have any cause of death.
What happened? Yeah.
Like, this house has seen a lot. So you kind of like, you know why it's haunted.
Yeah,
like, okay,
cursed.
you know, like back in the old days where they would use your home as if there was no funeral homes. They would set up the casket in your home.
Dude.
So after the fires, people, after losing their loved ones and stuff, they love the parlor room in this house.
Yes.
And they started asking the family if they could use the house for funerals.
Oh no.
So this house was kind of used as a funeral home, sort of.
Eek.
And they were storing, like, some kind of, like, storage stuff downstairs from, like, after the fire, like, supplies and stuff. So all this stuff is, like,
oh, man.
You know, like, a big mix of, like,
everything?
Yeah, it's just, like, wow. Like, whatever.
What?
Yeah, it's just crazy.
That sounds like a mix
so
for
this one was,
a haunt. Yeah.
So there's, like, this one's funny. So objects are being flung, I guess. Claims being pushed down the stairs. Apparition of cats.
I've heard of that.
But why are there apparition of cats?
I have no idea.
That was kind of interesting to me. I was like, what?
I know in my house, I know this sounds weird, but my mom would be laying there, and our old cat, Putty, used to sleep behind her head.
Yeah.
And you know how you can feel the cat get on your pillow and paw, along? Yeah. My mom will feel that every now and then, and I'll be sitting on, like, the edge of the seat. I feel like a cat just walked right behind me.
I've had that when I was laying in bed down here when I used to sleep downstairs, and it felt like a cat jumped up.
Yes.
And there was nobody. I was like, what?
And our other cat,
I forgot about that.
was looking in the hall, like, dead set, like...
No, that's crazy.
He saw something. I've never saw that cat look like that ever.
Oh, wow.
And then finally it quit. But I'll feel it. I'll feel like along my back, like, you know how they'll, like, just kind of rub your back and they're gone.
Oh, wow.
But my mom, like, she feels it now and then, and you can see it on her face, man. She's like, I don't know which cat it'd be.
That would
guess
freak me out, too, a little bit. Like,
yeah,
okay, thank you for stopping by.
Not some crazy, like, neighborhood cat we don't know.
Yeah.
Just coming through. Just walking by.
So what I do like about these guys, they actually stayed on site. They were given apartments, I think upstairs somewhere to stay in the house and do it.
Yeah.
They've gotten some cool EVP sessions. Like one says, we can't move.
Wow.
They don't know if they can't move forward. They can't move this room out of this room. You name it. So it was
stuck.
Yeah. And what I liked about them is they like to do follow-up investigations.
Right.
And a lot of them don't do that.
Yeah, I know.
Like, to go back. And,
you
always want them to go back and say, okay, is this still happening?
Did they get help? Yeah. Did they get help or just prove it?
And they don't just do EVPs. They're recording all the time with audio and video.
I think you shouldn't leave it, like, on Twin
Yeah, that's what they do. So
yeah.
they're like, oh, you could go back and get, like, 30 seconds, or, like, you don't know you're going to get anything. It's like, it's more, like, powerful than the EVP sometimes.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Just leaving it, like, you're not asking questions, you just leave it. Because I've heard some crazy ones with the Twin Paranormal, and they're, like, talking about catching a ride on, river, his brother. They're like, let's get on the river. Right. And, like, that's how they'll get out of there. And when they come back, they stop talking. Like, they'd hear them. They were talking about hiding in the bathroom. And they kept hearing noises in the bathroom before they heard it. Aww. It's like, that kind of validates it. It was creepy sounding. It was. It sounded like they wanted to catch a ride out of there, dude.
Oh, yeah, I can imagine.
I'm like, I'm sorry, but not with me. No. Go to the light, or, not coming home, me friend.
That's one thing that does scare me about investigating. Yes. Like, I want to try doing it again, but at the same time, I don't want stuff to follow me.
We need to make sure we have, like, the right prayers, crystals.
Well, right. I don't need stuff coming home with me. I've never had a demonic spirit, knock on wood, yet, but that just frightens me. Yeah,
definitely. I think you can always burn, it's called Palo Santo, and it's a holy wood, and it's stronger than sage.
Oh, wow.
And you put it all around you, and you can you definitely protect yourself.
Good, I need it.
Yeah, it's good just to burn anyway, just to kind of clear things out,
So this one is so cool because it's so close to home. The paranormal investigators in Glean, Michigan. That's just amazing.
And Glean? Wow.
Yeah, they're the Glean Ghostbusters. I
love it.
I guess the sign coming into Glean actually says Ghostbusters.
Really?
I'm like, I would love to get it. That's so cool to see that.
I'd love to see that.
So I guess buildings, they used they've gone out of business. Like schools, the banks, the supermarkets, they're all closed. It's like,
really?
Some buildings are only used for storage. Very few people pass by, which I've been, like, Hunter and I drove through there. It's on Cleveland. So if you took Cleveland, like, straight out of St. Joe and just kept going to US 12. It's right before US 12.
Okay. I haven't been through there in a while.
It is weird. Man. It's like, we're like, should we stop? And like, it was hot summer. It's like, let's just, no.
Yeah.
But I would like to explore it more after learning more about it now.
Yeah, that's nuts. That's really crazy,
So the investigators are the Michiana Paranormal Society, which we do have them on a Random Task podcast.
Oh, good.
We follow them.
Yeah.
So Kim, the leader of this group, used to be a skeptic.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So until she started doing this, I guess the high school in Glean closed in 2011. And they've got lots of voices. She said that they got 350 EVPs in one night at the high school. That's insane. Could you imagine? I would love to hear them, though.
Nuts.
She got voices saying, like, they think it's a child saying, I want to play.
Aww.
That's just crazy.
Oh my gosh.
So the high school was actually built in 1936. So that would go back a long ways to 2011. I mean,
that's crazy, dude. It really is. Oh my god.
I'd like to learn more about the jail. They didn't say much about the jail, but they got EVPs in there saying kill him, Frank. And then they saw shadow figures.
Holy crap, dude. I would look up and see, like, if there was a Frank in a cell near there. I'm sure there was a Frank somewhere, but you know what I mean?
I like that they do house calls in Glean, too.
Do they really?
Yeah, this lady had her fridge rocked itself out of the, like the area where the fridge is supposed to be. Could you imagine? And then her nightstand started shaking. It's just like, that's crazy.
They can't be good.
Ernest Holmes was the original house owner. And he was found dead in that house.
What?
So his will stated that the house was supposed to stay in the family forever.
Okay.
They did not honor his wish.
Oh, no.
So guess what happens?
He got pissed off?
So the weird thing is the current owner's son died. His name was Michael in the house. Okay. He's his mom's protector.
Oh.
So during the interview, I think it was the mom or the sister of the guy who died.
Yeah.
She had a necklace that had ashes in a locket.
Yeah.
And during the interview, the necklace fell off. And she said it felt like somebody was behind her, unhooked it. She's like, I felt like somebody was unhooking it. And you can see it, like, if you watch the YouTube video of the Glean Ghostbusters, you could just see it. Whoop. It's like, oh my God.
That just happened. Wow.
Yeah.
By itself.
And they've gotten EVPs of,
that's crazy.
Michael saying Michael, and a whisper of Ernest.
Oh my god!
So, and then in Michael's where Michael died, an EVP says, "Help me."
Oh,
so I can't remember. I want to say he committed suicide, but I cannot remember.
Okay,
I think he did. I'd have to they didn't say that in the news article. I don't think.
Right. Oh, okay.
But what I did, so Glean has a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah, I know. I've heard a lot of stuff.
And I'd like to
Glean.
just as I don't know, it'd be cool just to go there and I don't know.
Some people
yeah,
some
yeah, exactly.
Maybe
to get
someone
for you and I to go there and just kind of look into it
and
see what we can get. That'd be awesome.
There's got to be people that have stories.
I'm sure,
or they've heard stories. You know what I mean?
I mean, most people like to talk.
Yeah,
it's odd to find people that don't want to talk about their paranormal experiences.
Yes, right.
So that's weird to me.
That's so funny.
Yeah. So I found a lot of articles on the ABC 13 News special for Halloween, which I just thought were kind of interesting. So I want to actually visit this place. It used to be the old Allegan jailhouse.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So now it's an Allegan museum. It's got artifacts from the early 1800s.
Oh my god.
So this building was actually built in 1906.
What?
So
it's old.
Yeah, so some inmates and the former sheriff actually died there.
Really?
And they called the ghost residents.
Do they? Okay.
They only talked about the one. I was actually trying to find the other 6, and I couldn't find any articles. Wow. So I would like to go there and do the tour, see if they talk about the residents.
Yeah, and see what they say.
The one they did talk about was a 9-year-old girl who drowned in 1892.
Jeez.
So this Bible was donated to the museum.
Was it?
And the family didn't know upon, I think, donating it. They left something in it. And it was passed down, so it was donated again.
Yes.
So they found a lock of hair.
Oh.
And a note in the Bible with a flower pressed.
Really?
Yeah, it was, hold on. And the note saying, little flower and lock hair from our little girl's grave.
Oh, gosh.
So, and she said to not haunt, but she's not not demonic.
Right.
She's actually a nice, sweet spirit that she's mischievous like any kid would be.
Yeah,
she likes to pull on people's clothing.
They get bored, yeah.
They can hear her hiding in the attic sometimes,
Snap.
And just
it's freaking me out now, kiddo.
So a lot of investigators, I guess, are drawn to this place because of the little girl. So I mean, I'm kind of curious to go check it out.
Yeah,
I mean, it's only in Allegan. That's only an hour drive from here.
Yeah, yep. I've gone there for the dentist, and it's not real far at all.
Right. And the craziest part
the drive, definitely.
about Michigan is we have the deadliest waters of the world with the Great Lakes.
What?
Yeah. I was like, could you imagine? Because of all the I mean, there's lighthouse haunts, there's drownings, there's shipwrecks, there's so much. I mean,
it's crazy.
Yeah.
It is.
Trying to think of whatever.
God. I mean, I swam in that water.
All the idiots that jump off the pier and die,
Oh, gosh. I know. I know.
Well, I guess not all of them jump off the pier. Wasn't that couple that were just walking on the pier and they got swept off?
Yeah.
And they were found in Tiscornia? Is that where it was? I can't remember. It was just like
the next one over.
Freak accident. It's just like, oh my god.
Yeah, when the water's going over like that, don't go out there.
I know.
You know where there's no handrails and stuff. That's dangerous. It really is.
The one that gets me is the Edmund Fitzgerald.
No, yeah,
the ship that went out.
Heard of that.
They were 15 miles from Whitefish Point Bay. They would have made it if they
so close.
It makes me
so
sad.
Far. That's sad.
That song is haunting. That Gordon Lightfoot song, but it's really good, but it tells the whole story, and that's one of my favorite songs.
Yeah,
so,
God, it's freaking nuts, dude. It is.
I rambled out enough. Your turn.
Oh God,
educate me, girl.
You pretty much said what I have.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. I know. Shoot. Let me see here. I'm sorry, people.
No, you're fine. I can keep going too. Until we
got Detroit. We got haunted places in Detroit.
Go for it.
As I said, there is some kind of demon house in Detroit. I watched the thing on it, and it's actually called Hell House.
Oh,
did you see that with Zach Bagans in it?
No, I did not.
Yeah, and
but I wanted to hear about it.
Freaking crazy. Yeah, I mean, like a bunch of crazy stuff. And this woman lives there with her children. And like still, and then
he's
looking at the kid, and they're outside as they're gonna you know how you leave as they investigate?
Yeah.
He's looking at the kid, and the kid's just like staring back at him, like something was in him. Like, I'm watching
that's
you.
Crazy. That'd be creepy.
Dude, I was like, what the hell?
I know.
Because I saw Hell House. What is that? You know? I go, I'll just see what it is. I was like, oh, damn. I was like, I can't sleep now. You know, it was like,
right.
It was. Man, shoot. Yeah. And they think that one of the most haunted towns is Grand Haven.
I did see that because there was a lot of I have history about that one too.
I know. It's freaking.
It was about one of the lighthouses.
I didn't mean to do that.
Oh, you're fine.
And good one,
I was trying to find the lighthouse one.
I didn't realize it's a video.
Oh, you're fine.
Sorry. Yes. I don't know. Except for the 808. What about the Mackinac Island?
I have lots of that one. Hold on.
What was that called? The Grand? It's the Grand Hotel, right?
Yeah, the Grand Hotel. Yep.
Yeah, it's supposed to be.
Looks beautiful.
Yes, it is. I've been there. I didn't stay there, but I've been there.
I'd love to stay there. Just get the feeling for it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of bed and breakfasts I'd like to do just to see
old,
if it.
Isn't it?
Like there's one I can't remember. I looked it up too. I'll have to look at my notes real quick. The ghosts are all friendly. They're not.
Yeah, I saw that too.
I was like, I kind of want to go here.
Yep.
Was it the Henderson Castle? I want to say it was like the Henderson.
That's Kalamazoo, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like their ghosts are so friendly.
I know. And that's so interesting because like you don't always hear that, you know?
Right. I'd hope to
You're so funny.
Come into contact with somebody friendly.
I know it's better than somebody unfriendly.
Oh, no kidding.
But
doing bad stuff to you while you sleep.
Not today.
Right?
Right? You picked the wrong day.
I know.
Shoot. Heck no, man.
So I can talk about lighthouses if you want.
Yeah.
For a little bit.
We were talking
until you get your stuff.
Right?
So, like, a lot of the lighthouses were, like, about 1820s, so a lot of them are all over 100 years old.
That's crazy.
And the light keepers were, I mean, you have to think they were there for 20 to 30 to 40 years at a time as the only light keeper, and they lived there. Could you imagine? I would lose my sanity.
I know. I don't know how they do it. And a lot of them, some of them didn't have families.
I know. What I mean? That would be the hard part.
Just by yourself. Same thing.
So isolated. And
yeah,
there's one, I think it's in Paradise, Michigan, where Whitefish Point Bay actually is. And I think it created its own post office for that family.
Really?
I think. Because we went there 2 years ago. And I love that museum. It's one of my favorite museums of all time.
Is it really?
It's just neat, the history, because of Edmund Fitzgerald.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think that's got its own lighthouse, too, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And I always wondered, walking through there, if that was haunted. It just, you feel like somebody's, like, watching you the whole time. It was kind of like...
Somebody probably is,
I felt, and like some of these, like, you know, like, the mannequins they have as props were creepy looking. I'm like,
those freak me out.
I know. Like,
I'm
that
sorry.
was like, they look like...
You know how they'll talk about, like, spirits or ghosts that can take over things like that? Like, I just, even just not thinking about that.
Yeah.
And just being a mannequin, like, freaks me out.
Oh, I know.
You know, shoot. Man. No, thank you.
I know. No. So there's, like, all these keepers of the service. So from Marquette to Whitehall, Saginaw to South Haven. Why can't I talk today? They were all dedicated keepers, and they were dedicated in death also. And like they would still stay there.
Yes.
So South Haven, which is really close to us, 25 minutes?
Yeah.
So
real close.
The residence wasn't actually attached to the lighthouse. It was actually, it overlooked Black River Bluff.
Really?
Yeah, I found that fascinating. So the family lived in the house there.
Interesting.
So Captain James S. Donahue, he was from 1874 to 1909 as the lightkeeper.
Yeah.
And this is the one that I was talking about where he would crawl on his hands and knees with a lantern in his mouth to get out to make sure, even in storms, if it was still lit. Okay. That's crazy. Talk about dedication.
Dedication, you got it.
I know. So this guy actually lost his leg in the Civil War.
Oh, damn.
So
doing that on top of it?
So, yeah. So after his death, you could hear walking upstairs, but it's a distinct peg leg walk sound. You could hear the tap. Yeah,
that's quite interesting.
Doors opening and closing, and they said no one was even in the building. So that's crazy.
Yeah, I'd assume that was him because it is a certain walk back then when the kind of leg they use usually like wood, and it is like heavier than a normal foot. Yeah, I don't know what else that could be. And if you're alone, hello.
This one was interesting. So this is White River Light Station of Whitehall.
Yeah.
So Bill Robinson was the light housekeeper and his wife Sarah. Yeah. So they came to the area. Actually, he was, brought in to build this lighthouse to help guide ships haul lumber to find their way. Like, I don't know how to explain it.
No, I get it, yeah.
So he became the lighthouse's permanent lighthouse keeper from 1876 to 1999.
Wow.
1919. He was only supposed to be like, why can't I think of words today? It was supposed to be temporary, basically.
Welcome to my world, huh?
Why can I not think of? I've over-researched. This is when I know I've over-researched because I can't form words. Everybody, oh my god! Like I'm so excited to tell you, but I can't put it verbally. Like, oh my god, you don't see my head? I'm just kidding.
Right, mind meld, man.
So this is the weird part. So after the day before he was supposed to vacate the lighthouse as the lightkeeper, he actually died the day before.
Wow.
So that's just like, holy crap, he did not want to leave.
Yeah.
So that just...
It probably broke his heart that he had to go. I wonder if it's his choice to go or they're like, it's time to retire.
I was wondering if they forced him out. Yeah. I mean, if he died, I don't know if it was a suicide.
Yeah, maybe
they didn't say that part. So you can hear walking at night. He's checking the tower to make sure all is well, I guess.
Good for him, man. I mean, there's some alive guys you can't get to work.
This one cracks me up because I feel like this would be my mother in death.
Yeah.
So another spirit possibility is his wife, Sarah. She's a very meticulous housekeeper, they said.
Oh, wow.
She likes things run a certain way.
Yes.
So one employee, she was getting ready to dust the cases, and she had a phone call. She put the stuff down to go take the phone call, and when she got back, everything had been dusted and the stuff had been moved.
Oh, wow. Somebody like that needs to move to my house. Shoot.
So it made me laugh. I'm like, oh, my kids need this.
Kids stuff.
I know. I was like, oh my gosh. That was
mess.
Laughing.
That's hilarious. And awesome in a way. You know? Like, how can I pay you? Shoot.
So what I did, like, every lighthouse, I guess, has its own ghost stories. And everybody wants to romance it, but it was kind of cool because this one for Whitehall brought in investigator Amber Rose Hammond.
Oh, I've heard of her.
And a medium Susie Smith trying to find real evidence, and it was really fun to watch these two.
Oh wow, yeah, I love watching mediums.
So,
I really do.
Like, what was that method they try? Oh my god. Estes method. So I had never seen that before.
Oh, really?
Where, like, she's blindfolded.
Yes.
And there's, like, she can't hear the question.
Does she have the spirit box on?
I don't remember. I can't remember how it works. So she had a blindfold on and headphones.
Yeah, but they'll have, you can do it with
But she was, like, she couldn't hear the questions, but she was answering them, like, from the ghost point of view. It's okay.
Technical difficulties.
It's okay. So it's funny. But it was kind of crazy. She was like, yes, lighthouse keeper. She said his name, and I was like, oh my god, died. I was like, what?
The man that
just
made
I mean, you can't make that stuff up on the spot. Like,
no
I don't
way.
think, you know.
Yeah, you ask the questions. I've saw them do it where they were downstairs and they're upstairs, and they have a like I said, a spirit box on and the headphones like what you're wearing, and they go downstairs so like you can tell you're not just making stuff up.
Yeah.
And the answers come out, you know, like it's nuts, like help or
right,
you know, what do you want? Who are you? You know, it's crazy. And the man that actually made it, Cody and Sam on YouTube, they actually got to interview him.
Oh, wow, that'd be cool.
He says that when you put on the headphones and then you do the blindfold, if you actually get into like a rocking chair and you start rocking, it gets you into sort of like you're a human antenna. That's why it comes to you.
That would be
like a human antenna, and
that'd be trippy.
Like hypnotized in a way, so they can speak through you. It makes it stronger to shut off your other senses.
Oh my gosh!
And just listen to that spirit box.
Oh,
it's quite interesting. Yeah, look it up. Estes method. Yes.
So that was what she was doing. Okay, because she was just spitting out like the. Answers like, oh my god.
Some people that are psychic can just do
that's what she was. She was a medium.
The headphones, with no spirit box.
So maybe that's what she was doing. If she can see it, as a medium. Yes, that makes sense too.
She may not have a spirit box.
Right, that's crazy. Oh my god.
Yeah, the real deals. Can do that. It's so crazy.
That is crazy.
It is. It's quite interesting, man.
Oh god, yes, it is. That is interesting.
It is. I've always thought it was. Like when I never knew what it was either until I started watching Sam and Colby. Sorry, Colby, not Cody. On YouTube, and then they did it, and I'm like, what is this? It's like people even change when they're doing it. You notice how they talk?
Right.
Like, it's not like, your normal voice. You're like, hello, or, I'm going to kill you, or, you know what I mean?
I hope you don't sound that uplifting where you're like, I'm going to kill you.
No.
That was sound too happy.
It's so weird. They all look like the same type of, just like you're hypnotized in this way, and you're like, yes, no.
That would be kind of weird, yeah.
It's so
just
weird
to watch it.
To hear it.
Oh my god, I know.
Oy
vey is right.
Yes. We get that on oy vey, two of
oy vey.
Right?
Oh god.
I know the words, man.
I know. I get it.
Right.
It's Friday the 14th. I get it.
Yeah, right? That's the new Friday the 13th.
I know. We started a new trend. I was thinking yesterday, I'm like, too bad this wasn't on Friday the 13th. I'm like, oh, I'm only one day off.
Right.
So I was like, happy Friday the 14th.
Yes.
We're starting a new trend.
Celebrate.
Everybody else keeps picking up their own holidays.
Yeah, it's a lucky day, people.
So it's going to be Friday the 14th. It's a made-up day.
Exactly. It's a lucky day, so.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly. What you got? Anything?
No, I lost myself again.
No, you're okay. I was
keep on the search thing.
I was amazed how many Mackinac Island history and haunts there were. That one was mind blowing.
I know.
And I had no idea that it was sacred to many Native American tribes. I mean, it went back to 900 AD. I mean, the island is called Frozen in Time.
Wow, what a name.
The tribes would laid loved ones and many people to rest on the island.
Oh, yes. Don't they not want other people, coming on to it, right?
So British, Indian, and American have all fought and died over this island.
Right.
That's amazing.
I've heard of this. I don't know where, but... Yeah, it was on a show I watched, and you're right. It's crazy.
Well, this is on YouTube actually.
Yeah, that was
there was it was an hour or two long. It was mind blowing.
And when they did Estes, it was kind of like, why are you here? This is sacred,
the Grand Hotel you mentioned has thousands of stories. Share that bones were discovered during the construction of the hotel.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. The question remains: was it built an Indian burial ground?
Oh, God.
So they don't know about that.
Come on, people.
I guess apparitions can be seen, noises, dark, shadowy presence that has red eyes. Ooh, that would be scary if you're staying there. Like, guess. Oh, my God. So a guest was attacked by an entity and didn't wake up for 2 days and never returned to the hotel. Could you imagine sleeping for 2 days?
I'd go get a freaking exorcism. I'm not even
That's like
joking,
a bad drug trip.
Yes. Yeah, not a good one.
So I guess the hotel has long maze hallways, where you feel like you're stepping back into time. See, I would love to see this.
That's nutty.
I don't know if you can just visit it.
So. Yeah, you know what? I don't know why not. I mean,
so this hotel was actually built in 1887. Yeah. It took 600 workers to build the hotel of 200 rooms in 93 days.
93 days. How do you do that?
It's like 3 months. That's not very long.
How do you do that? That's
so it makes me wonder if it's kind of like the Hoover Dam thing, where like a lot of workers lost their lives.
Oh God, that's so sad.
Just working on, you know.
How many people? Yeah, they fell in and they had to stay there because they couldn't get them out.
Yeah.
You know, you sink. You know, and that's so sad. You know, they have like a plaque up too. You know. Did you ever hear about the London Bridge? You know, falling down. Do you know they brought the original London Bridge over here to the United States? I forget where it's at, but it's like mega haunted.
Oh,
it
wow.
was there, and it still is mega haunted.
That's crazy.
It's freaking nuts. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's insane.
I know. I was like, wow. They moved it, you know. Obviously, people are attached to this object, not just this piece of land or water, you know.
Yeah. So I'm having some technical difficulties too.
Right.
My mouse just died.
Oh,
so
no.
I'm trying to find.
Will this one work?
You've got the piece though. I don't know where this piece is right here. If it's in the front,
I can take it out.
I can't move my.
Here.
Okay. I'm trying to figure out where this one would even plug into.
Ready?
So I'm gonna let you talk for a minute, so I can get us back on. So
I was trying to find where I search again. I forget what you told me. Here we go. It was something in Haunted Bering Springs. Darn it. There we go. All right. Let's see. All right, people, work with me now. Sorry. Oh gosh, it shows all the haunted places. It's like all around us. Jeez. But I don't. That's not what I want. Oh my God! Come on. Not now. Yeah. This sucks. Okay. Dang it. I forget which thing I pushed, dude.
You're okay. I'm trying to fix the issue.
Maybe Google. Hold on. Okay. I'll fix it.
We're sorry. We're trying to figure out this difficulty of this mouse. I'm trying to get this mouse thing out of the back of the computer because my mouse decided to die during this podcast.
Right.
And I'm trying to wiggle it out. I didn't mean to put Ashley on the spot, but
no, you're fine. It's because I got lost. I'm so used to like a phone. Like it's been a while. It's like I said, my computer's like freaking dinosaur age. This one's nice though. It's easier to type in the phone, you know.
I love that computer.
Yeah, it's great how like the buttons are just very light to touch. Yeah, it's Haunted Bering. See, I saw a whole bunch of stuff from there too.
No idea why this is not working.
You can probably try to edit too through Spotify. Okay, let's try this here. Okay, enter. Here's something. I think. Let's see. All right. Okay, what is the longest haunted house in Michigan? No, that might, I don't know if that, there's the Munchkin Land thing again. That's right, it was Franklin Cemetery, if anybody wanted to know.
Oh, cool.
Yes, I failed to mention that. If anybody ever wants to take a look at it, yes, it's in Eau Claire, Bering County, and it's named Munchkin Land, but it is Franklin Cemetery. Let's see. Bering County's Nightmare on Elm Street, eh?
What?
Yeah.
What is that?
Check this out.
Talk about that one.
All right.
Like Nightmare on Elm Street?
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy.
Here. Ashley, come on. Do it. You can do this without screwing up. Here we go.
That's funny.
There's a guy wearing like a sombrero.
Oh my God. That's hilarious.
I know. It's like, you look scary.
Oh God, that's funny.
This one woman looks like a vampire on it. It's like a bunch of pictures. Bering County's history. Sorry. No offense to the people on there from back in the day. It says Bering County's Nightmare on Elm Street. Apparently, it's showing a house, dude.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's cute, too.
It's cute.
I'd buy it.
That's a cute haunted house.
It's haunted. It says, move over, Freddy Krueger.
What?
Berrien County has its own nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh my god, hell yeah.
It says only it didn't happen in your dreams.
Huh.
So apparently it happened May 3rd, 1934, and this was during the day. But the nightmare, as they said, originally started days earlier, when Walter James Pearson went fishing with his 10-year-old child. Richard, his name was Richard, on the St. Joseph River, which we know what that is.
Yeah.
The fish were biting that morning, and Walter and Richard were almost out of bait. About 11 Sunday morning, Walter sent Richard to get more minnows. And it says that the child never came back, and Walter assumed he went home to the cottage. Right. They even say where. It's at 616, oh my god, Elm Street.
Oh, no
St.
way.
Joseph. Walter continued fishing and didn't get home until 9:30 that night, even though his son had not returned.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he assumed he went home. Oh my god. Long story short, he says, when he learned his son was not home, he alerted authorities and the Coast Guard. They set out to look for the boy. First, they found his hat, and then they recovered his body, oh god, around 11 o'clock Sunday night. And it was in the yacht basin, it says. Oh, wow. And that's east of the Naval Reserve Station, which I don't know where that is, actually. Maybe it's not there anymore. But they said they believed that the child, Richard, slipped on the dock, fell in the river, and no one was around to hear his cries for help. Oh, wow. Wow. His parents made arrangements to bury him in South Bend. Let's see, which was the custom at the time. The wake was held at the family home at 616 Elm Street and at a small cottage owned by the Wallace Land Company next to the former library. Okay, let's get to the point here. Moved by its original owner. Oh, somebody bought the house. And it said it was a Gothic Revival style cottage. It was moved, by its original owner, Captain John Wallace. And it says he was a prominent St. Joe tugboat captain. And so he moved it. Let's see, the location on State and Elm Street. In 1883, John Wallace's mother, Mary, lived in the house for many years. Okay. So what about it, though, y'all? The captain built a much larger Queen Anne style house for himself and his large family at 503 State Street. Okay. Large house was raised, blah, blah, blah. What's this? Come on. During Richard's wake, another tragedy occurred that began the legend at 616 Elm Street. Okay. It says, began a legend that it's haunted. And unlike most haunted stories, this one is rooted in actual events. Richard Pearson lay dead in his casket at 616 Elm Street. Guests arrived one by one to pay their respects. When they were about 20 people in the living room, the house itself started to rumble. Unable to handle the weight of the casket, oh dear Lord, and all of the people suddenly and without warning, the floor collapsed. Oh my God. And little Richard, his grieving parents, and several friends went down with it.
Oh my God.
The cottage did not have a basement, so the floor only fell about 3 feet. But several were injured, and 2 women even fainted from the ordeal. Aww. It says one of the fainters was Violet Pearson, Richard's mother. She also suffered bruises from the fall. She received a cut on her wrist. Gosh, one of her friends had a dislocated shoulder. Whoa. And luckily, Richard's casket remained closed during the fall, although it did roll off its carriage.
Oh my gosh.
The screams from the guests were heard as far as the city block, as tables and chairs fell into the crowd. The flowers fell in all around them. Jeez.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
That would
be, yeah. Oh my goodness.
Oh my God. What are the odds of that happening?
No kidding.
Wow.
That was right here in town. That's weird.
And your son died.
Is that the St. Joseph one? Or no?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it is. And then it says the Pearsons moved out, okay, at 616 Elm Street soon after. Their son had died at the end of April, and by the middle of November, the Elm Street cottage was being advertised by Wallace Land Company as vacant and ready to be rented.
Oh my God. What?
Oh my God.
That's insane. That's, oh God.
Company for the injuries. Let's see. Oh my gosh, she suffered a nervous breakdown, the mother.
Oh, well, yeah, I would too. Oh my God. That's a lot.
Oh my God, the lady, it says she claimed to have suffered permanent injuries to her right arm, which was paralyzed, as well as her neck and shoulder.
Oh no.
She also said she suffered a nervous breakdown. She asked for $10,000 in damages. Wow. They denied the liability, insisting the Pearson family was to blame for inviting so many guests. That's crap. 20 people. Come on.
Right.
In your living room. It was a nice Victorian home, dude.
Those are so gorgeous.
I know they are.
Maybe this October you'll do it with me. So I've been wanting to do it. Marnie keeps talking about it too. Maybe she'll do it too. So St. Joseph has like the old original houses downtown you can walk through, like on Main Street.
Oh, nice.
Wouldn't that be cool just to walk through them?
Yeah, they're so gorgeous.
Because you can do it about Halloween, so I'll look for tickets.
Yes.
So I think that'd be fun. That'd be a cool podcast, like to show people.
A whole Halloween. Like,
I know. I just love the paranormal stuff. So
I do too. It's crazy and otherworldly, isn't it?
It is really crazy,
and it makes you think about like the other side and like, the light, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like what happens after. You
know? Yeah, because we're all going to go there.
Right.
Like, sometime.
It'd be nice to know some info.
Right. It is nice and comforting to know that there might be something more.
Exactly. Right.
And it's not just lights out.
Exactly.
That's what scares me is like just like the nothingness, just like not feeling,
there's so many people that have had encounters with stuff, and you know what I mean? Like, it's crazy, you know. I think maybe that, I don't know if that's limbo, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like some mediums call them a ghost. When they pass to the light, it's a spirit. And then if you come back and, say visit,
Yeah.
I'd rather, like, go to the light and then come back and then, like, I can travel, like, to France. You know what I'm saying?
See, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
You have to worry about planes or, like...
we'll just fly there.
Be like vampires just... That's another thing in the vampire movie that doesn't make sense. Why are they still taking the airplane?
I know,
like in Twilight, why did they still need to fly? I guess she was still human still, so maybe...
Oh, that's true. That's true. He could have carried her.
I know. I was like, he could have ran with her.
Ay, caramba, huh? Jeez.
So it's just kind of funny.
Wow, man. This is freaking crazy.
All right, now that I have a mouse back, I was like, oh my God, I have no way of stopping this when we're done recording.
Right.
I never thought about our mouse dying during podcast, so I've got it plugged in right now. I'm able to use it finally. It's like, oh my God.
Thank goodness you had the other one, too.
So we'll go back to the Mackinac hunt.
Yes, exactly. Sorry about the
I am so sorry, everybody.
It'd be more interesting.
That was really crazy. I've never experienced this. I'm like, we're new to this, so please bear with us. Yeah. We're starting to excuse our friends, trying to get our shit together.
We don't have our normal tech guy.
We don't. We're doing it all ourselves. Yes. He's probably laughing at us like, oh, the mouse died. Their mouse died.
I'll give him a black eye, darn it. I will. Jeez.
So it's kind of funny. Yeah. We have outtakes on our show now.
Exactly. Yep. Cut.
I know. Oh, God. So
episode 235.
So Mission Point Resort was one of the most haunted on the island. So this is where the college student named Harvey died on the bluffs.
Oh my gosh.
So no one knows if it was murder, accident, or suicide.
Oh man.
His body was found. It is said he likes to prank guests, and he's very flirtatious.
Oh, okay.
So we should go see Harvey.
Yeah, I mean, shoot, you never know.
At Mission Point, it looks like a nice
action.
It kind of looks like a nice little. He was a college student.
Oh, okay. It's not against the law.
You know what it reminds me of? You know that show Ghosts?
Yes.
The guy that died without his pants.
Oh, yeah.
The flirt guy.
Oh, my God. That's so
you like what you see? He says, he's like, you like what you see?
Imagine if you do die and
I love that show.
You're wearing.
I know. I wrote that down. God. Do we die in the last thing we were wearing?
I hope not, because
I hope not too, because I'm like, I'd probably be like in flip flops and a bra or something weird.
You're naked. You're in the
shower. Yeah, that's my biggest fear, is dying like naked in the bathroom. Like,
snap!
Like a lot of these drug overdoses from like rock stars or whatever, rappers.
You
know, they're found dead by the crapper.
and on the crapper, like Elvis, right? Holy crap!
I don't want to be remembered as the girl who died in the shitter.
Oh, God, can you imagine the newspaper? Holy snap.
You know, that would be all over Instagram and YouTube.
My friend Echo, she said her uncle died on the shitter.
Oh, God.
Yeah, she like, felt horrible, but she goes, it's crazy.
No. Okay.
I was like, that poor man, too.
Going back to Mackinac, the theater is said to be haunted, too. It was built in 1955. Wow. I guess furniture gets moved around. There's cold drafts, noises, uneasy feeling, and voices are heard. So it was originally a roller skating rink, and they turned it into a dance hall.
Was it really?
And eventually a theater, so it changed a lot.
It sure
that's
did.
Pretty cool.
It's a lot of energy.
So now it's a haunted attraction. I remember actually going this with my grandma.
Where's this at?
It's on Mackinac Island. I remember my grandma saying, "Do you want to do this?" I'm like, I was only probably.
Well, we're gonna put it on the list, girl.
Bella's age 10 or 11, and I was like, "Okay, yeah, that's cool." I'm like, "How cool is my grandma went in there?"
Yeah, did she?
Yeah,
grandma's awesome.
I know.
Too.
I was like, I never thought that's like right now, but I'm pretty sure I went into there, and it was pretty. It was cool. It's not scary. I mean,
right.
I mean, if an 11-year-old could go in there,
we can't see it. I think that's what makes it so scary. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so in real life, pokes your just put your hand on your shoulder. You're not going to flip as much.
This one really gets me. It's called the drowning pool.
What?
So in the 1700s, there was brothels. Women were accused of witchcraft and what they could do to the men when they're hustling, like sexing for money.
Yeah.
So they were saw as witches. The woman in question was taken to this drowning pool, which was 25 feet deep in the middle. They would tie her to a makeshift chair, anchoring rocks around her feet. If she floated upwards, she was a witch.
That's bull.
If she didn't, she was not a witch, but still drowned.
That's not right.
Why would you not go get her?
If I was a witch, I'd use my damn powers.
I know. Shoot. So many women were killed in this way, and this is a very haunted attraction on the island, which I thought was...
It's sick.
What? It reminds me of the Salem witch trials. Sort of, in a weird way.
Oh, man. I thought that was the worst, but I guess there were so many witches killed in, like, Europe. Oh, my god.
Oh, I know. That would be another episode, like Bella said, to do, like, witches.
I think we should.
Yeah, I would love to do it.
That's so sad, because you know how many of those people are innocent?
Yeah.
Like, come on now.
This one's really sad. It's called the Mission House.
Yeah.
It was 1825, and it housed small children with a tuberculosis outbreak. Kids were moved to the basement due to the damp, cool conditions, thinking it would help heal them. They met their demise. Friendly ghosts are fountains seen, shadows seen, kids running through the hallways and outside too. You can hear children throughout the house.
Wow.
That would be like heartbreaking, just these children.
It is heartbreaking.
I know.
You'd hope it's just like memory.
I know. I know.
Residual energy, you know.
The Island House, 1852. There's apparition, orbs, the ghost of Charlie, a gentleman ghost.
Oh, what?
So I guess room 400 to room 409 is the most haunted in the hotel.
That's crazy,
I know,
honey. Oh my god.
And this one, of course, is going to be Fort Mackinac. Of course, that's going to be haunted.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So in 1780, the Bright controlled the Straits of Mackinac. Maybe it's supposed to be British. Whoops. So I don't know. So British relinquished control in 1796. So 20 years after America declared independence from Britain, the British War of 1812 recaptured the fort without a single shot being fired.
Wow.
I know, that's pretty cool.
Oh my gosh.
I know. Americans attempted 2 years later to take it back, but they failed. So It was reoccupied in 1815. Congress closed the fort in 1895. So today it is a national state park with 14 buildings.
Wow.
So the guard shacks have cold spots on a hot summer day. So you can feel the cold spots when it's like 100 degrees out.
That would be spooky. Something's there that does.
That actually happened today, and I got a story. Let me finish this one.
Sure.
So people have had phantom limbs show up in photos in the hospital building. That's crazy. Motion sensors get tripped at nighttime after being locked up and closed.
Oh my God.
So lights seen at nighttime from the fort, like soldiers with lanterns.
What?
See, that'd be kind of cool. A lonely fife is heard sometimes in the distance. It's like, oh,
what the heck?
So it's funny. So the story,
it's not.
I've been researching all this paranormal stuff.
Yeah.
And I was coming to get you, and Tim and Hunter are like standing outside in disbelief. I'm like, I thought it was odd. They're just standing there. I'm like, did it get colder out here?
Yeah.
And they're like, something weird just happened. I'm like, what? They're like, we thought it was fire, like smoke from a fire in the distance.
Whoa.
And so we're watching, make sure it was a fire. And I guess they saw like a mist coming, and it just, like the mist like just came over top and just like vanished. And I was like, oh my God, I'm researching all this paranormal stuff. How odd is that?
That's
It might have been
crazy.
just like a natural phenomenon, but I was like, that's,
I don't know.
It was like, oh my God.
Something might have just been going through the neighborhood.
It was weird because I felt it. I was like, it was supposed to be like 85 degrees today, I think.
Yeah.
When I went outside, it felt like I was still in air conditioning.
Yeah, that's
I went out
weird.
to start my car because I was like, I'm going to let it cool down. I'm like, did it get cold outside?
That's crazy.
Like, it felt like I felt it, so I know what they were talking about. Like, that was so weird.
Oh my gosh, man.
I know.
Jeez, that's crazy.
So I'd like to go back to Mackinac Island. I guess you can do a horse carriage tour.
Really?
So that'd be kind of cool. It goes around to like a Catholic and Protestant cemeteries.
Yeah.
So if you're on this horse carriage tour, you can feel like someone's hopping on and off the cab as it passes the cemetery.
Really?
I would love to experience
like
it.
Someone's
so
catching
cool.
a ride.
Yeah, like exactly.
Whoa.
There's an apparition of a woman
Good
standing
idea.
over a grave of a possible child has been seen also. Oh, I know.
I wonder if they're trying to find each
So
other.
I didn't know Mackinac Island had its own battlefield.
I didn't either.
Which makes sense. So the War of 1812, 13 American soldiers died and were buried. No British were killed. British had the better playing field with the high grounds and seeing the Americans coming. Cheaters.
Right.
You can see ghosts at nighttime wander the battlefields. Now it's a golf course.
Oh, wow.
So where the golf course is the old battlegrounds.
I'd love to have a UV camera and go out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the forest, I guess, it's eerily quiet. So there's not any sound other than nature, and you get a euphoric feel once you're in the woods.
That's so crazy.
Which I kind of can relate because that happens to me when I'm at Grand Mirror.
Yeah,
Like,
that's so
that
odd.
sense of losing time.
Did you say you saw somebody jog past you?
Oh my God, that was scary. So Hunter and I went out there hiking this one trail that we always hike. It was right before COVID, actually. We were out there. It was like a dismal kind of fall day. And we were on this trail. I look up and I see this guy coming toward us. I can still see him clear as day. I think he was wearing like a dark blue beanie cap or maybe black. It was like a gray sweatshirt. He was running. I moved Hunter to the side like he was going to come running past us. And I moved Hunter and I looked back up. I'm like, where'd he go? Whoa. Hunter's like, where'd who go? I'm like, the guy that was jogging toward us. He's like, I didn't see anybody. I mean, you didn't just fucking see the guy that was running toward us. He's like, no. He looked at me like I was crazy. And the trail that the other direction would have ran right into a swamp. So there's nowhere for this guy to go.
He
and
didn't go anywhere. He just disappeared.
It frightened me because we got back home and then Hunter and I got sick for like at least 10 days or more.
Dang.
We couldn't stop sleeping like for like 12-hour days periods. Like we got sick once, like throwing up. And then that was it. We couldn't stop sleeping. I thought we were going to die.
If there's been any like deaths out there?
I don't know. I've tried
people?
like the oh god, the necrometer out there.
Yeah.
And you got a lot of weird like there's not very intelligent.
Really?
But I've also thought it's close to a nuclear plant.
Okay.
So it's like right next to a nuclear plant.
True.
So all that energy and the lake.
Yeah.
It was like a swirl, I think.
Yeah.
And I also wondered, I meant to do research, like, because the mafia was so close to Chicago here.
Oh, yeah.
They could easily just dump bodies back there.
Gosh,
and I've always thought that. I'm like, I keep thinking in my head, I bet you mafia dump bodies back here.
Well, yeah.
Because who comes back? It probably wasn't a state park then.
Yeah.
So it was just, it's kind of crazy. I've seen a lot of people that weren't there out there.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure like this family of 4, it was like it looked like 2 grandparents and 2 kids, and they were like coming down this one dune.
Yeah.
And then they were gone.
That's nuts.
And I was like, I'm looking up, like, all the dudes. I'm like, where the hell would they have gone? There's nowhere it's just like, what?
You don't just disappear. You don't.
So sometimes I go out there and somebody, like, talks to me. I'm like, are you real?
Yeah, make you want to, like, poke
I
them.
know. I was like, exactly. It's like, are you real?
Yeah, there's been accounts of stuff like that.
Right.
This woman was rescued from her car by a man that was like he worked for like ambulance, and he got her out of the car and everything, and all of a sudden disappeared.
Yeah,
and she's trying.
The trails
to tell
out there are weird. Like there are different fields to the trails. Like I found a new one. It was across from the trail that the apparition I saw.
Yes.
I don't even know how to explain it. I felt like I was looking through somebody else's eyes.
Really?
Like, I didn't feel like myself, and I kept picturing this little Chinese guy.
Whoa.
So I was like, I felt like I was looking through Chinaman eyes. It was like slanty. I was like looking through Chinaman eyes.
Channeling.
It's spooky out there. There's something out there, but I'm so drawn to going back a lot. I love going back there.
Yeah.
So
right, you have a connection with the place, obviously.
I don't know.
It's like nothing's hurt you,
No.
I think, that is called channeling when they do something they want to show you something.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, so you may have some kind of gift there, honey. For real.
I don't know.
To know something, they'll get it through.
I know, that's what I was talking about. Like, when I was little, I fell out of many, many trees. And
poor kid.
The last one I did fall out of, I felt like I was going to die. I'm like, I hit so hard, I did a belly flop from this. I don't know how many feet up in the air it was. It was freaking forever.
That sounds awful.
Like, I ran out of branches from the top and I hit, like, totally hit the bottom really hard.
Lucky you're alive.
Like, I remember seeing black and, my ribs, like, I'm pretty sure I cracked a lot of ribs.
Oh, shit.
And I don't know if I told my mom about it or if I told her later. I don't know. So after that, I don't know if that's when it started I started seeing things or, like visions. Like, I get some weird visions sometimes and they come true.
Yeah.
Like, the visions are scary. Or dreams. The dreams that are what scare me sometimes.
Yeah, that's nuts. That is,
I used to think about somebody, I couldn't remember, like, names or something. Like, I would think about them, obsess with it in my head, and then they'd end up dead.
Whoa.
It's like, oh my god,
that's crazy.
Am I killing these people?
It wasn't me, right?
No, but it was weird. So, I'm trying to remember. The girl I went to school with in Belding, I kept trying to rack my brain. What was her last name? I knew her name was Jessica, and I was like, so I had an apartment by a river at the time, and we were out of high school, and I remember hearing the helicopters over top. I'm like thinking, what the hell? I guess this girl, Jessica, I went to school with, had drove her car off the riverbank, suicide.
Oh my god.
The next week. I was like, oh my god.
Whoa.
And there was another one I played tennis with, Jennifer, and I couldn't think of her last name for a long time either, and I was like racking my brain. And then she got into a car accident and she died.
God,
I was like, it was freaking me out. I'm like, oh
yeah.
And then the latest
like
one
a warning.
Was 2015. We were going out to Vegas as a girls trip, and I kept thinking of Mark and Debbie Constantino.
Okay.
But I kept thinking about Debbie.
Yes.
Like, nonstop the whole trip when I got back, and I couldn't figure out why. And then that August, she was murdered by her husband.
Yeah,
Mark,
that's horrible.
And it just, like, that scared me. I was like, oh my god. It's like, what is happening? I don't understand why, like, what the hell is this?
They didn't seem like the kind of people that would happen. Like,
that was crazy.
The whole community was shocked.
I know.
By that.
She did not deserve that.
No.
They think he was actually possessed by a demon.
Like many.
I think that's what happened.
Well, the work they did. I mean, yeah, he was a demonologist, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was sad. I don't know if you saw that Ghost Adventures episode where they went back to the Washoe Club in Virginia City, and they got signs of their friends being there. Mark and Debbie.
Yes,
that was the emotional episode. Bill breaking down and crying.
That was hard on them. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the quarter of the year they died was thrown down. Yeah. They found it. It's like, oh my god, that's crazy.
That's right.
It was an emotional episode. It's like you don't think about when the investigators become the ghosts.
He's like, I don't carry any cash on me. None of them did.
Yeah.
And it just kind of.
Then they found that quarter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't just sitting there either.
No, it was thrown. I do remember that. They were trying to get the attention.
Yeah.
And then they got the EVP. They're like, it sounds like Debbie. I'm like, oh my god, it didn't sound like Debbie. He's like,
isn't that crazy?
That's crazy. Like, I was like. the paranormal investigators became the paranormal.
I know. They became the hunted. You know?
I know. I mean, it's just now they're a part of it. You know,
crazy. Like,
and that happened. Oh God, what is that? Bobby Mackey's.
You
bar.
See that they're tearing
Carl.
down?
Yeah, they're building a new one.
On the same spot.
Oh, are they? I thought they were doing a different location.
Same location, girl.
Because Carl...
Yes, I saw something on it, and I'm like...
Yeah, Carl, who used to, like, live upstairs. He had the apartment upstairs. Do you remember that, Ghost Adventures?
Yes.
Where, like, he was kind of the overseer of the place. And he died, and now he's part of it, too.
Yes. Didn't he fall down the stairs or something?
I don't remember. It could be.
I may be wrong.
I just thought he was batshit crazy for having that apartment upstairs.
Hell yes, you gotta be.
I know.
They said it's like one of the most like demonic places.
Oh, that was like I read the book Hell's Gate, and it's really good.
Why though? I wonder. You know.
I don't know if it was the river, the well,
or somebody who's conjuring shit.
Yeah, it could be that too.
Yeah, I watched them go to a house call, Zach and everybody, and this girl had started. She didn't know why, but her dad had like this satanic Bible and these other books. I don't know if he studied them or what, but he didn't practice it. But then she felt compelled to practice it. If he hadn't left those books laying around, she got into them, did a bunch of conjuring, conjured a huge demon that is actually one of the princes of hell.
Oh, Jesus.
Because you know how the demons, like, on the shows never tell you their name? It said its name.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Like, they know. They pretend to be somebody else or a kid.
60 armies. I was like...
60?
60 armies of demons.
Wow. I didn't know they had demon armies.
They go, is there any hope for this family? And a real spirit goes, move out. Yeah.
It makes me wonder, because I never thought about demon armies.
They're blaming on this young girl. And then the father admits about the books and that he called out this certain demon's name.
Oh, God.
So, gee, was it him or was it her? Or was it a mix?
That's crazy.
But he says, I'm not sure it was this name or that name.
Right.
And I'm thinking, he knows.
Right.
But isn't that funny? He didn't say a word. This was at the last thing where they're like, oh, if the girl hadn't done this, it wouldn't have happened.
Oh, wow.
Him calling out to that? What else do you think? Shit. He had those books for a reason, apparently.
Oh, yeah. You don't just have books laying around for no reason like that.
You got kids and stuff. Like, kids are curious, but you don't realize when you
kids are like sponges. They're going to read it and like, absorb all
go
that.
away,
like, hey.
Unless you have special help. Like, it was crazy. It was going through her mirror, and the SLS showed it going through the mirror. It was like closet doors. Yeah, closet doors. They have mirrors sometimes. It was talking and going through the mirror. They go, how can we prove that you're here? And it was so creepy. It was like, I spoke. I was like, and before that, it sounded like a woman.
Oh, okay.
It was like, who are you? It only liked kind of getting the young women. Because they have a young woman now on their crew. And she went up there and it was like really curious about her. Yeah. She didn't even say her name. I don't blame her.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, nope.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was nuts. A light flashed through the house. They thought the hall light turned on and off quick. It wasn't. It was like, when bad lightning happens and the house is so dark. It was like that.
Oh, yeah, like that flash.
And there was no rain, no storms, nothing.
Oh, wow.
But it went through every room in the house.
Oh, so like...
Yeah, it was crazy.
That'd be kind of weird. Like,
yes.
Constant cameras
It's the
flashing.
last episode. I was like, oh, shit.
Oh, my God. Wow.
That would have tripped me out. Like, when that family watches
it takes a lot for my hair to stand up, but that one probably would make my hair stand up just watching that one.
Like, it shows you, like, that freaking evil out there.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Holy crap.
If you screw with the wrong thing or,
Yeah, you don't mess with that stuff.
That's why I've always been, like, against, like, Ouija boards and shit.
Oh, yeah, I don't...
It's like a phone. You don't know what
you don't know who you're
contact.
Yeah, exactly. Who you're summoning. And...
Yeah, there could be something good, but it could be something bad as well.
Usually it's something bad.
Yeah. Right. It doesn't always seem to kind of be something bad.
Like bad
all
through
the
a Ouija board.
You hear at least.
I tell my kids, do not touch one.
Please don't. I know my mom mom said that
even
too.
all investigators will tell you, do not touch one.
Yeah, I almost did one to friends, and then I go, you know what?
Oh, yeah, we're dumb teenagers, we do it. But,
and they didn't,
that was the last time I did it.
I was like, oh, fuck, you did one?
Yeah, when I was in high school. It was a slumber party for my friend.
That's what I was. That's funny.
It was really weird. Like, I think it followed me home.
What? Did you guys get any answers?
I don't remember what it was. I felt like it was an old guy.
Did it move, though?
Yeah, it did move. I saw like an old guy in my mind, so I don't know if it was.
Shit.
But I remember talking on the phone to my friend Will at the time, and he's like, "You gotta." I was like, we heard this guy's voice come through the phone.
Oh my God!
I was like, "What is that?" He's like, "Shh." I'm like, what? It's like, we can hear this voice. It's
God,
it was just frightening, you know? It just like, he's like, you need to banish it. So I'm like, you need to teach me how.
Yeah, like, bitch, you are
so I'm trying to banish this spirit, and after
that,
I didn't have any more issues, but it's like, what the hell's happening? It was kind of like,
they say evil only comes when it's invited.
I think it was evil, because I remember going home, and, you know, like, it was during the period of, like, the movie Witchcraft, or The Craft, and you're trying all these dumb things as a teenager. So I remember, like,
I remember that.
I don't know if I got a hold of a Ouija board, if I took it home with me, because I remember having one. We had a hot tub at the time. I remember having a black turtleneck on, sitting on top of our hot tub lid.
Right.
Just sitting on top of it. Who the fuck does that? With a Ouija board. Like, that was weird.
That's so weird.
And, like, after that, I kind of, like, I gotta snap out of this. I don't know. It took me to a dark place.
Yeah.
And I was like, I gotta snap out of this. So I got rid of it. I got rid of everything.
Yep. That's some smart thing. I wonder if something was attached to it.
It could be, but it was just like, when you start doing like that witchcraft stuff, you better be careful, because that shit does come back like 110 times full.
Literally, like,
it literally does. That's no horse shit.
It's not, and bad stuff you do comes back. What did they say, 3 times or something? So things to do 3 times.
I mean, it is cool to see this stuff, but like, I think my favorite to learn about was candle magic.
I just like watching it. People do it on TV.
Different
and stuff,
colors of the candle meant something. And
it
was pretty cool to do candle magic, but that, like, spells bite you in the ass because they don't really work the way you want them to.
Yeah, there's always a catch, isn't
and they come back and bite you in the ass.
Heard that. There's always a catch. You know what I mean?
Like, I thought it was really cool because I did this spell when I was a teenager in high school. I was dating this 21-year-old, and I was trying to. My mom hated him. Which
I bet.
So I'm trying to. I'm like, I gotta get rid of him. I gotta break up with him. And I made this spell where he would break up with me.
Oh my gosh!
And I went to school the next day. He's like, meet me out front for lunch. We need to talk. I'm like,
whoa.
And then my friend Will looked at me like, oh my God. I was like, I know. I got like excited. And then he's like, well, I started talking to my ex-girlfriend. She's back from Florida, and we're starting to rekindle. I was like, in my head, I'm jumping for joy. Yes, it worked. But you're trying to like show like no, you're trying to show sad emotion. You're like, fuck, yes, it worked.
You fucked me over. Yeah.
But, right. Oh, I'm so sorry it didn't work out. You know what I mean?
You hate me.
But I remember going back to high school just celebrating like. Did I do this?
Well,
I'm like, is this
not? That's
did,
a huge
did it really work? If it's just coincidence, like weird shit would happen like that. Like
that's a crazy coincidence. Then.
I sat in class. I was drawing one day in class. It was during psychology of all things. And I'm just sitting here drawing something. I had no idea what the fuck I was drawing. So it looked like a yin yang symbol, but it had like a face in it.
That's weird.
Like a weird moon face. And I remember drawing it, and Will and I went to the magic shop in Greenville. Yeah. Because they had one at the time. And I found this book on the shop. I'm like, Will, look. He's like, what? And it was the symbol I had drawn in class.
No.
And I had never seen it in my life. And this lady, I can't remember her name. She did like spells and stuff. Like she was like that witchcraft lady. Yeah. She was frightened to see me.
Was she really?
She's like, you are a very powerful being. I'm like, I didn't understand what she meant, but it was like, I kind of get it now, sort of to some degree.
Yeah.
That one that did my reading from your brother.
Yes.
She told me that also. She's like, you have no idea how powerful you are.
Wow.
Like, I'm starting to get that.
Yeah, you know.
Which she gave me by reading. Like, everything was bigger. Everything's bigger than I am, and I don't understand it.
That's interesting.
But I don't even try to figure it out anymore. It doesn't scare me anymore. I just roll with it, and I was like, okay, this is some kind of weird gift.
You're in control.
In a weird, bizarre way, so I might as well just, like, be thankful for it.
Yeah, there's a reason.
I mean, it's weird.
There's a reason, yeah. You know?
Yeah, like, it started when I was a kid. Like, I was telling you about that ghost story. I don't know if I hugged a ghost when I was a kid.
Wow.
So that's I've never told my mom this story or anybody. But, so I was little. I'm not really little. I guess I was 10. My mom was going through a nasty divorce with my stepdad.
Yes.
And we were in the process of moving to Greenville from Belding, which is about 20 minutes from each other. And we had to go live with my aunt for, I don't know if it was a month, until our apartment was ready in Greenville. And I was by myself because I think my mom was working at the time. Or maybe she was just downstairs, I don't remember. So I remember seeing a guy, and I remember smelling. Wow. It does smell like death now I'm thinking about it, like the dirt smell. But I thought it was my uncle because they were renovating their house at the time.
Oh, I see, yeah.
So they like that musty smell.
Yeah.
And
oh, man.
I hugged who I thought was my uncle, and it hugged me.
Not like a corpse or nothing, though, right?
No, it didn't. It felt like an actual person.
Yeah.
And then I was talking about it with my aunt the next day, and she said that her husband was at work in Grand Rapids during that time.
I'd be like, what?
So I don't know to this day if I hugged a ghost.
I hugged somebody.
I mean, but it wouldn't surprise me because they did have a spirit in their house. They named him Harold. So
Harold.
When we got in trouble, we always blamed Harold.
Poor Harold.
So I think Harold was like an old farmer. That
Harold ate all the cookies, man.
I know. He would look over the house as they were, I think, because you know how it goes on, like, probably renovations and stuff.
Yeah.
So I felt like
I hate that.
He was telling me everything's gonna be okay, you know. But it's just,
and you needed that at that time.
Yeah. It's like I don't know if I hugged a ghost is the weird thing. My mom's probably listening to thinking I'm batshit crazy. I couldn't blame drugs when I was 11.
No. I wasn't there. No, I'm just kidding. But, you know.
But it's just like.
But, you know, for real. Though,
yeah, like weird stuff like that.
That's just crazy, man.
Yeah. So we're at 1 hour and 15 minutes. Do you want to keep going, or
we can stop? But
okay.
Let me see this. It says from Jones to Vidalia to Pokagon. You know the Ropakagon?
Yeah.
To a cemetery in Somerville with ties to the Salem witch trials.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
we'll have to look that up more. That's fun.
Yeah, it said the adventure started with a trip to the Tidy Cat. I've never heard of that.
Sounds like a titty
ghost town of Jones. You ever heard of that in Jones, Michigan?
No.
It says situated in Cass County, and they search for the perfect door, probably for a house or something.
Right.
Yeah. By that they mean a temporary door nice enough to stand until we reframe our house. Yeah. For what is it? There's more to it, but I don't know if we'll go to it because you know how that is.
Yeah. So that's another podcast I like to do on the road. Is just the ghost towns of Michigan. It's not hauntings. Yeah. But just like there is so many. Like there are so many ghost towns in Michigan. I had no idea.
I didn't either.
A lot of them are up north because they were like old mining towns. So once like the train pulled out, the towns went under.
Wow.
So it was really neat. So like one of them was like the Cold War nuclear. Like it was that old military place. I'll have to look it up. Yeah. So I can't remember where that one was at, but it was like it was made for the Cold War, and it had a bunker and everything underneath. It had like barracks. It had like housing for families in the military. I cannot remember, but it's quite a ways back. You can't just drive up to it. Like the family that showed it on video had to take like a ATV wheeler back quite a ways. Yeah. Like on a 2-track till you get to it. So that place looks cool. I'll have to look it up again. I found it on YouTube. But Michigan has a lot of ghost towns.
It sure does. I'm going through all this, and this is nuts, man.
It's overwhelming. Like, that'd be fun just to hit them all, too.
See, I didn't. Like, you know, like I said, I needed to do a computer and look, because on the phone you only get so much, you know?
Yeah.
And, like, I'm seeing all this stuff in, like, Jones, Michigan. It's crazy about the door. The door was on an old saloon, and, like, they got rid of it, so the people used it as a temporary door. And that's the door that was on a house of one of the Salem witch trials. The person that was killed.
God. Holy crap.
What are the freaking odds here?
I don't know if I'd want that in my house.
Oh, they didn't know until after,
Get it out,
dude. Yeah.
That's going to be a pissed off lady.
I know. Jeez, man. That's crazy. The former Tumbleweed Saloon. I love that. That's a great name for that. Tumbleweeds.
That's cool.
Or Tumbleweed, I call it.
Yeah.
The Tumbleweed.
That's awesome.
Yeah, there's a picture. Damn, it's old.
I totally forgot about the urban legends.
Looking. It is old as shit.
I forgot to urban legends. We could do that another time too.
Yeah, you know, I was looking at some of those.
I forgot about the urban legends, but we can keep going.
Yeah, right. I know. There are some good ones, you know. Shit.
Like that one, it's in Dansville, Michigan. It's called the Seven Gables Road.
Yeah.
It's like 100-year curse.
Oh my god.
That's kind of crazy.
That sucks. Shoot.
So, deep into the woods, a house used to stand, like 80 plus years ago. So everyone who actually knew the history and have personally been in the house have died long ago. So,
oh my gosh.
So they don't know like if anything's true. It says death of children, witchcraft, ? So they really don't know. But I guess there's a rusty red iron gate. There's only one way in. Some say the gate is a threshold from safety to evil.
Oh my god.
I know, it's kind of crazy.
That's nuts, man. That's crazy.
I know. So apparently a witch lived in a cottage that she built back there after the other one had been torn down.
Really?
Yeah. So what did it? Oh my god. So she would wait till parents went away and then killed their kids.
What?
So that's kind of... So the parents got justice by trapping the said witch in the house and setting it on fire with her in it.
Good.
And she cursed the land that made it inhabitable.
Well, that sucks.
So yeah, it's kind of crazy. If you made it back over the gate again from the house to the gate, you were going to be dead in 3 days.
Oh, snap.
So that's the urban legend.
I wouldn't be going there testing that crap.
I know.
Just in case.
So, the family had the crazy witch hung.
Why is that?
So, the funny part, if it's not funny, I shouldn't say funny. So,
the
urban legend after that is, so another family moved in later.
Wow.
And the dad went mad, killed his family.
Oh my god.
And I think that's where Seven Gables Road name comes from.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
That would make sense if they were counting the dad, the mom, the family, you know.
Yes.
So I guess sometimes you can hear a woman scream. And some people have actually had it on tape of a woman screaming. There's mist figures. There's an eerie silence. And you see shadow people.
Yeah.
So I guess there was a picture of a tree.
Yes.
I think this is where they hung the dad afterwards. No. Yeah, I think they hung the dad afterwards. But I guess, so if you take a picture of that tree, it would never show up in the photograph.
Oh my
Until
gosh, that's crazy.
This limb had come down in a storm, and all of a sudden, the tree started showing up in the photographs.
Really?
So that's interesting to me, if that was like an actual thing.
So like when it broke.
I don't know, like investigators had tried, like this one investigator had tried for years to take a picture of this tree, and it never showed up, he said, on a Polaroid.
Until after that.
And the limb fell, and it showed up in a Polaroid again.
Was it struck by lightning, or?
I think that's where they hung the father.
Okay, I didn't know how
I think it had like all that, you know, that curse.
Wow.
So that's insane.
Maybe
I thought
it broke the curse.
Maybe I don't know, but I just thought that was fascinating.
Maybe it's nature's way. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, and there's orbs. There's strange sounds.
Wow.
They don't know if it's a tall tale or true.
Right.
People's stories are all different, and it is open to the public.
Is it really?
It's kind of interesting. I'm like, I guess it sets quite a ways back from a gate.
Okay.
So in the woods.
That's crazy, in the middle of the freaking woods.
Yeah.
That's nice.
This one I would like to do because it's in Grand Haven.
Is it?
And you can actually take the tour.
Okay,
so these are Grand Haven cemeteries.
These will be for the folks too.
So the first one is Lake Forest Cemetery. So the founding fathers of Grand Haven are said to be buried there.
Oh, wow.
And they don't know why, but there is a mass grave where people were buried on top of each other. This is kind of weird.
Gosh, it's horrible.
So, the cult legends, not all souls are at rest.
Oh.
So that's just crazy.
That's sad. I wish they'd take somebody there to, like, guide them to the light. Yeah. You know how you see that on shows, if that's true?
So the first grave they show on this tour, he was the first murderer on record of Ottawa County.
Whoa!
So he went. I know he went to Pottersfield Cemetery, which is where they put the poor or the unidentified. Yeah, and that's where they buried them. So there's 1,200 to 1,500 bodies in this Pottersfield by itself.
Pottersfield.
And the one experience, the guy, I guess, stood there, and the lady's like, what do you see? He's like, I don't know how to explain it. I guess it's oil. He was saying, like, he saw, like, oil slicks moving above him.
I've heard of people
I'm
saying
like, that's crazy.
Like that.
I was like, what?
Yeah, like, that's how people said it, like, oil slicks. That is
so weird.
That wispy, like, it looks like a tissue foam.
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy.
And the other one, there was another one, it's called the Blue Man Grave. So it's supposed to be the stairway to hell.
Oh, super great.
It's called the Fairy Hill because William Hill, who is one of Grand Haven's founding father.
Oh.
So they think he stands there glaring and looking down the hill because they think his grave was vandalized. Oh, God. So now he watches to see and make sure it's not going to be vandalized again. So that would be so creepy to stand, and his family's plot too. Like his family's all buried right there too.
They want to protect it all.
So he's called the Blue Man.
The Blue Man, though, huh?
This one,
the Blue Man group.
This one is kind of like unsettling, but kind of cool. So, Peter Koopman, he has an unmarked grave in 1922. So in 1922, he was a saloon owner. He made his own moonshine during Prohibition.
Nice.
But he was his biggest customer. So he didn't do profitable. He was drinking his product.
Don't
so
smoke your stash.
He shot his wife in the back.
Oh, come on.
So now the house is now a location of a consignment shop. So the wife, when she was shot, was found bottom of the staircase. It's like, so strange things started occurring, like footsteps, like some apparel were cleaned up upstairs by the ghost. So another cleaning ghost.
Oh, awesome.
I know, a full-bodied woman apparition in the middle of the day coming down the stairs.
Whoa.
That would be so cool, though.
I think everything since at nighttime. I think it can happen anytime.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? But I wonder if it happens more at night. Oh,
yeah. They got an EVP of her saying, I'm not happy. I'm not happy. I'm not happy. Help me. In a breathy, like, response. Like, she was, at the end, she was breathy. Like, help me.
Oh, my
God.
God.
So maybe that was right when she got shot. Like afterwards, maybe she laid down. Maybe she laid there suffering for a long time, you know.
Yeah, and she fell down the damn stairs. That hurt.
Double whammy.
And shot.
So, due to what he did, his family never gave him a proper gravestone. That's why it's unmarked. So I was like, wow, that is so fascinating and cool at the same time.
Right.
So,
he asked for it. I'm sorry. You know.
I know. It was just kind of crazy. There's so many, like, urban legends.
I know. It's nuts.
It is.
And in our area, which I had no idea up until a few days ago. And I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, wow, more happens here than I realized.
Yeah. So there's so much in Michigan. I mean, we could go on forever and ever and ever.
I know, right?
And it was fascinating to read because I didn't know a lot of this stuff either.
Yeah, I had no idea.
I thought it was cool.
It's nuts, isn't it?
Just like the stories behind, like this one, the Elgin Elk Lodge.
Yeah.
It was TB in 1909, a psychiatric.
Oh,
my God! It was by a psychiatric doctor and it was built by a doctor, sold to a doctor from Chicago, which is kind of funny. This one also housed 7 ghosts, but they don't talk about all the ghosts. And Al Capone is one of them.
Really?
So Al Capone and his men actually resided here. So years later, they had lots of undercover stuff going on there.
Yeah. I saw his house over in on River Road.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy, yes.
So I guess in this place, a lot of cabinets are opening, kids are laughing, childlike figures.
Interesting.
Something about a basement. I can't read my handwriting.
Oh, gosh. Yeah.
Oh, there's a morgue in the basement. I get it now.
What?
So that would be kind of freaky. Like, the doorbell starts ringing when there's nobody even present.
That's nice.
Yeah. I guess they can hear, like, hospital activity going on.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of crazy when it's not even running a hospital.
This is nuts.
So, yeah, I just love that stuff, though. I like the story. I think the stories make it more...
There's, like, this story about Somerville Cemetery, too. Like, you know, I don't know what's all to it, but it was the earliest marked grave in Somerville.
Oh, wow. Seriously?
It dates from, like, 1830. Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's so
Bears
cool.
the name Emily Markham. Yeah. Many Pokagon pioneers are buried there, including the prominent African-American families of Ashgalt. I don't know who that is, but Mitchum and Mitchell. I don't know. The remains of Cass County's first white settlers, what a name, Uziel and Anna Putman. Putman, that sounds familiar, don't it?
Yeah.
I don't know why, but yeah. There was something about the cemetery being haunted.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's not far either. It's in Cass County.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, shoot, that's nice, man. Yeah, the first pioneers, like, people that were here that settled.
Oh,
that's old.
That is.
And there's something called the Somerville Mounds, and I'm wondering if they were, like the Native Americans. It says something hopeful. Native Americans built 9 burial mounds near here.
Oh, wow.
The 6 remaining earthen mounds, there were 9, now 6, reflect the Hopewellian culture, which flourished in the eastern woodlands of North America. That's crazy. And
it's sad.
Let's see, only in here, Illinois and Ohio. And Somerville is one of the only few places in Michigan where Hopewellian mounds have survived into the 20th century.
Oh,
yeah, because
wow.
most mounds have been destroyed by plowing.
I was wondering if you could visit them or not. Okay.
Yeah, you can. Right here it says. It's crazy. They named it the Somerville. Yeah. Somerville incised. That's weird. A type of, it said Hopewellian pottery for its association with the site. That's crazy. There's mounds and stuff. That's nuts.
Okay.
It's crazy, dude. It is. I didn't know we had anything like that around here.
I didn't either. That's interesting.
Yeah, mounds, Native American burial mounds. I had no idea.
Yeah, Michigan is so full of history that we
it
don't
is.
even know
I
about.
thought it'd be more up north. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it's all over.
I guess so. Shoot.
I remember having to take Michigan history in freshman year in high school.
Oh,
it was
really?
Just, like, mind-blowing. Like,
oh, wow.
What?
See, I would like to have taken that.
I was like, oh, this is going to be boring as hell. But it was like, it was the most fascinating.
Yeah, it is fascinating, you know?
Yeah.
Like, when you're old enough to appreciate it.
Yes,
Some
definitely.
of these are really old graves, man.
Oh, I know.
I'm like, old. Old. Very old, yes. That's crazy. Yeah. 20 people were executed as a result of the... They're talking about the Salem witch trials yet again with this.
Oh, that's interesting.
That's why. Anna Putnam, wasn't she part of that?
I don't know.
God, that sounds so familiar. I'll have to look into this.
I'll write it down to do a podcast on...
Yes, definitely.
Witches.
Yeah, there's just
famous
so much
witches
information.
of the world,
yes.
or something. We could do that, like famous witches of the world,
right?
Yeah,
all over. Yes,
famous witches. What was the other one you want to do? The scrolls.
Yes, the sea scrolls, right?
Yeah. So I'll write that down, and we will do those the next couple of podcasts.
Yeah,
that'll be fun.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and we'll end it here.
All
We're at an hour and a half.
Dang.
So thank you for bearing with us today, guys. There are technical difficulties of our dying mouse.
Right.
Note to self, next podcast, we will make sure we are charged up with our mouse.
Learn to edit.
I know, exactly. No, you're doing good. We're both doing good.
I'm trying to learn on the computer.
It definitely is a lot on this side, so I can see. It's not stressful, but
it's gotta be.
Like when, like the mouse failed, I'm like, oh shit, it's me, you know? Like, it's not Nick over here fixing it.
I know. Maybe he needs to plug in one
I
just
know.
to be safe, you know?
So I'm going to start plugging in these stupid mouses. I'm like, I was looking for a battery. I'm like, this one have a battery in place.
I know, right? I know. I hate that, man.
Oh,
you gotta charge it.
Talking about things dying, and my mouse died in Michigan.
Right.
It was a Michigan haunt of the Rachel's basement.
Yeah, in Benton Harbor here in St. Joe.
Death to my mouse.
Yeah. Shit.
All right. Well, catch you all next time, and thank you for listening. Hopefully it wasn't too crazy to listen to.
Right.
Hopefully it made sense. Keep listening to us. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend.
All right.